Parker. Inside Out 2. Let's get right to it. Action! What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan 680.
I'm Angela, that Cody Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Thank you so much for making this a part of your day. You know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Like, share, subscribe to us. And do not forget, guys, let us know your thoughts of what you think of our movies that we talk about here at the Alamo City Movie Talk Studios down here in San Antonio, Texas. Let us know your comments. We love talking movies, every single one of you guys. And whether it's a popular movie, or whether it's just a good old independent film. We love talking movies with every single one of you guys. And let us know in the comments down below, what do you think of this? And without further ado, what are we talking about today? We got the Mickey ears up. What are we talking about?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so if it isn't obvious, Disney, Pixar.
Yeah.
We are reviewing Inside Out 2.
Inside Out 2, guys, follows Riley in her teenage years encountering new emotions. Ooh. So, Angela, what did you think of this movie? Did it meet your expectations here? What did you think of this film? Let's go.
So I will preface this, as I mentioned in our reaction, out of theater reaction. I agree. One of your favorite podcasters had called the first one the masterpiece, and I wholeheartedly agree. I love the first one. I was so stoked to see that they were continuing the story, right? Riley's older. She's going through puberty, as they joke in the first one. And, she's 13. She's, has her friends and everything. What could go wrong, right?
Oh, a lot can go wrong with puberty.
And so we saw from the trailer, we're getting several new emotions. Yeah. One of them, I guess the main character being anxiety, voiced by Maya Hawke. Oh my gosh. I will say I loved her as anxiety. I think she did such a phenomenal job. I will start right off the bat, loved her. I also really loved all the other voice actors. I liked Envy. I think it was Ayo. From The Bear, we got Embarrassment on Wii. So I really, really like this new cast. And the funny one, I think one trailer had it. We got a little cameo of nostalgia. Yeah. Oh, which I thought was so clever. Yes. But again, I was like, okay, where are they going to go from here now, right? You can obviously continue a story, but what's the new adventure, right? We got the sense from the trailer, basically anxiety takes over and suppresses all the other emotions. I really thought that the second one continued with the cleverness of the first one. I know you mentioned they have a lot of very fine details that are just so clever with how our brain works, the train of thought and the sarcasm. I thought that was just so clever. They continue that into this film, and I really appreciate the animation, the detail, the thought that went into a lot of that. I will say I still loved it. Now, the bigger question is, did I like this one as much as the first one? And unfortunately, I will say no. I still really, really enjoyed it. Yeah. But it's just something magical about the first one I don't think the second one can compare to. So
okay. All right.
I will say those are my initial thoughts of this one.
Okay. This movie is just, here's the thing is that it's been a while. It's been a while since Pixar's been in the theaters. It's been a long time. And I'm so happy. I'm so grateful that we finally got this project. When Disney first announced this, I was totally against it. I'm not gonna lie, I was, because it's you can't touch something that's OG IP, and it's it's so good. It's such a the first one's such a phenomenal movie. Bing Bong, it's such a fantastic film. And it really is. It ranks up to the top for me, to the top 10 animation film, or the top 10 films. It varies, right, of course, but it just, for sure the top 10 films of my lifetime and everything. So it definitely is a movie to where it ranks up there. Now, the animation, of course, in the last one was so good. This one, the animation in here is just a killer. Whoever did this did a killer job here. There's a quick 2D animation we saw in this, which was very inventive. I feel like that it wasn't over used in a way. And again, it's with one character here. I'm not going to spoil it for you. A new character that you're going to see here.
But they also do that a different, like you say, animation style for a different character we see.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, we actually saw that a little bit in the last film. Whenever they go to that little vault. So I think that was
abstract thought.
And see, that was creative. Yeah. That's the thing too for me is that does the emotions carry in the movie as the first one? No, they don't. For me, I feel like that this movie doesn't have that emotional. It still has the emotion side in it. It does, obviously, because their emotions all that makes sense. But it is not. I teared up way more in the first one.
Yeah.
This movie. It definitely keeps the story intriguing. It gets us to a world where Riley is a teenager, and she's dealing with a lot of teenager things. Obviously, I'm not a woman or not a girl, but so like.
But you remember being a teenager, 13. We've all been there.
Yeah, and so like your hormones are going crazy. I mean, guys vary from girls, obviously, but it's definitely different.
It's different because like you're transitioning because where it's set is she's transitioning from middle school to high school, so that's a big leap. And like when you're a teenager, you have so many new friends, and you're going through all these changes, like you say, emotions. And we get the new emotions. We get anxiety and envy, and we get all that. So I will say it's one thing you can relate to because we've all been there, right?
And I think every moviegoer or every human being who's been through puberty or or even teenagers who are going through puberty are gonna really relate to this movie. Maya Hawke is just phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, she did a fantastic job in here. I can't wait to see more projects she's in because she really kills it. Oh my god, her anxiety moments are just so real,
relatable,
and so Pixar finally has come. I mean, I'm not blaming Pixar, but Disney has finally done Pixar right. Finally. That's all I'm saying, because it's definitely been a moment to where like they've been releasing the movies on Disney Plus, which I freaking hate. Soul deserved to be in a movie, yes, they re-released it into theaters. It should have been released in the theater. It really should have. It really sucks, but regardless, whatever. The point is that Pixar's here. The Pixar's here to stay, and you do see a few. I noticed at least one cameo, a little Pixar Easter egg hidden gem there. You guys will probably notice it right away. It's very obvious.
I mean, really in the theater, I was like, it was super obvious, real quick. But I will say though, I think, even though we didn't love it as much as the first one, it's still very enjoyable.
It's such a great movie.
I think a lot of ages are going to enjoy it.
Yes.
Not just because it's funny and it's animated great, but because it has meaning. It has like deeper meaning. Is it, like you say, as impactful, as emotional as the first one? No. But it's still fun. You still love joy. You love sadness. Mm-hmm. I think I had mentioned it in the out of theater reaction. We saw more of the other emotions. Or the main characters. So anger, fear, disgust, and fear. Yep. Whereas like, in the first one, it was mainly joy and sadness. And on this adventure, if you will. Yep. Now you see joy with the rest of the gang, and I really liked how we kind of got a little bit more into their life.
You really get to see where they're at, especially where they sleep. You get to see a lot of stuff that you really don't really think about in the first one. And again, though, it comes back to where like the reason why I was against this was that how inventive can we be, because Disney hasn't had a good track record when it comes down to like IP. They've been doing a lot of remakes and everything. Not all hit well with me, especially with Star Wars. It's definitely pissing me off with the Acolyte. I'm not going to talk about that, but it's really left me I guess, if you will, like the Joss Whedon Justice League. It just with really bad taste in my mouth, and it's like, what the hell is going on over there? But Pixar is just back. People are saying this is actually as I wouldn't say it's the best sequel. They're comparing it to Toy Story 3. I saw a few comments, and they're like saying it's the best sequel since Toy Story 3. I wouldn't say that, because Toy Story 3 for me is definitely more emotional, especially when they hold each other, where they're holding each other. Yeah.
Don't even get started on that. Yeah. And it's funny because I know they make fun of it in Big Bang Theory. That's one of my favorite jokes from that. They're like, they were holding hands. But I agree. I think as much as I wanted to have that same emotional connection, it just wasn't all there. You do get like very touching moments, not gonna lie. It does have very meaningful messages, things you can take away from all ages. I really appreciate that still. But did I bawl as much as I did in the first one? No. I mean, I will never not bawl at the first one with the Bing Bong scene.
Yes,
everyone knows what I'm talking about. So again, I wish I had a little bit more of that same connection.
But I get it.
It was very enjoyable. I think for a second film,
fun. Dude, I would say, okay, look, I've said this a very, very few times, and I'll say it. When we go back to sequels, when we talk about sequels, again, this is just, I'm talking about the best sequel of all time. One of the best, of course, was The Godfather 2. Again, we're talking about two different things, right? That's live action. This is animation. But all I'm saying, I don't care cinema. I don't care. this has got to be one of the best sequels out there in the world that has to be recognized by filming, has to be recognized, and even more so because that's the thing too. Like The Godfather 2, people would say, "Oh, Godfather 2 is better than the first one," vice versa, whatever. I would say this is not as better as the first one, but it is so close to it.
Close,
it really is. Close. It really is. And I was very afraid that they were gonna kind of like just Disneyfy it and just make a sequel out of it.
As much as we love Disney, I feel like sometimes the problem is they try too hard.
They juice as much as they can, and
it's too much too fast all at once, or whatever you will. But there's definitely a problem where it's just I guess maybe trying too hard to live up to the first one. I don't know what it is, but
it's crazy because it's almost been 10 years since the first one. The first one came out in 2015. It's 2024. Isn't that insane?
And it's such a timeless Disney Pixar film. Like it's really one of my tops because again, I can rewatch it. Almost 10 years later, and that Big Mong thing hits me like every time. So I think a lot of people,
and the animation is just it's beautiful, spectacular, beautiful.
Again, it carries that cleverness. Like you get all these little things, these details that go into it. As we got the first one, animation's beautiful. It was beautiful in the first one. It's beautiful in this one. So I would definitely recommend it if you're on the fence, like, oh, what's the sequel? No, try it out. You're gonna love it.
You're definitely gonna meet the voices inside your head. That's all I'm saying. And this movie is so great, so fantastic. It's definitely gonna rank as of right now for the year for me. It's definitely gonna rank my top 5 for the year. It definitely is. As of right now, but I can't believe we're already almost halfway through the year. We're in June. June's come by so quickly. June's come by very quickly, and it's a summer of movies. And this is the movie. I think this movie's going to make a lot of money at the box office. The box office has really been struggling with a lot of film. People are not seeing movies right now. They're not. They rather see them when they come out on Netflix. They rather see them when they come out on Prime or whatever the case may be. Disney Plus, whatever, right? They're like, oh, I'll watch it on Disney Plus. And that's the sad thing is, the sad truth is some of the content, you might as well just watch a Disney Plus because it's not that good. I get it. I believe certain yes. Soul should have been in theaters. Anyways, but but regardless though, the thing with me is that I feel like that the box office is really gonna have a huge moving up in the money wise, because I feel like that this is a really great movie and it's really going to get the word of mouth. It already has already from the beginning. Before we even saw this movie, I already saw people talking about how great this movie is. And so knowing the word of mouth, knowing that it's going to get people's butts on the seats of movie theaters, and I feel like families are going to go check this movie out. The last movie that made a really great box office turnout of this year, again, we're talking about this year domestically and internationally, was Dune Part 2. How long is that? That's been March. That was when that movie came out, and this box office hasn't been great since. So now we're getting a summer of movies, and I feel like this movie's gonna do good. Maybe not hit that $1 billion range. What I think is gonna make $1 billion. Quote me on this. What I think is gonna make $1 billion globally. $1 billion. Despicable Me 4. Is it 4? Right.
It's 4.
Despicable Me 4 looks fantastic.
It looks just crazy how
the animation world, animation movies are killing it. Like who would have thought?
Also because it's summer and it's kids.
But animation movies, that's the crazy part, right?
It's crazy how Despicable Me 4 has gone for so long, and it has Minions.
It's a spin-off.
And it's still like a phenomenon globally.
Yes, it is.
It's so recognizable.
Oh yeah,
and it's those are fun movies. Anyways, regardless,
like the Pixar, just like the Pixar projects. And again, these movies, Pixar knows. I've always said it in the podcast, on here, everywhere. Pixar knows how to make people cry. Pixar knows how to have the people have this emotional connection with their audience, and I love that. Movies like A Rat That Can Cook. Movies like that, Balloons Can Carry a House. Movies that just are so inspiring, and they're so poetic in their way, and I feel like that's the whole movie experience there. And I feel like that movies that are so deep, animation film that is so deep, we have this emotional connection to music, emotional connection not to a human being but to music itself.
I think my favorite wasn't WALL-E, Disney Pixar too.
Well, do you see? And that's the thing
and
too.
They're robots.
Yeah, and they're robots, right? Who would have thought that? Fun fact, or not really a fun fact, but I didn't actually like I loved WALL-E more when I'm older than when I first saw it a lot younger.
It's definitely a little bit different theme. It's a little bit more like...
For me, I thought it was boring, but then when I re-saw it again so many years later, I was like, I get it.
I've always loved WALL-E. It's great. Anyways,
but going back to this movie and everything, so was this the film we deserve to say? Hell yes, it was. Rating 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest. When you give this rating?
That's so hard because, again, I don't think it lives up to the first one. Just quite. It's almost. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would love to see this again in theater. I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy this. Rewatch it. I think it's great for kids and for parents. It's going to be relatable to a lot of people, myself included. I relate a lot to anxiety. I would give it a solid 8 because it was very, very well done. Again, the animation, the cast, the voice casting was still spot on.
Yes.
We saw the returns of our favorites. We saw some new people. Everyone did such a great, fantastic job. So I give it a solid 8. So
right now, Rotten Tomatoes is 92% for critics and 97% for audience. I love that. It's finally here. Finally, we're a place where movies are just entertaining people and they're really entertaining everybody and they're having that theater experience, which I always recommend, guys. Go see a movie in a theater.
And it's a movie. It's about what do you think about it? It's about the most random thing about it's your inner emotions.
It's your inner just human emotions that you just express yourself, whether you, and it's also more so identifying what kind of person you are going to be. And I love that. I love it's connecting. It's connecting with your audience, and I love that. And Pixar did a fantastic job here. I can't wait to see. I cannot wait to see what the Steelbook is going to look. I'm buying this definitely on a Steelbook. I cannot wait to see that artwork. I can't wait to see, and I'm a sucker for this because especially when I love movies like this, I can't wait to see behind the scenes how they created the story, the ideas, the new realm we see within ourselves. You guys know what I'm talking about. New stuff we didn't see in the first one that they got really inventive. I was all like, oh, I see you did. Oh, I see you, Pixar. Finally, something just great. And I just love that because we really haven't been gotten too much good entertainment from Disney lately. But I'm gonna give this. What was your rating?
An 8.
An 8. Okay, cool. I'm gonna give this a solid 8.5. Maya Hawke did it for me. She is fantastic. There was 3 anxiety expressions that I can relate to, and they're very, very well done, very relatable. You have that connectivity with your audience. They kept me laughing, they kept me entertained, and I gotta leave it at that. But this movie is definitely a must see in theaters, guys. And go check it out. Bring your family members, bring your kids, bring your wife, bring everybody, because everyone needs to see this movie. It really is, because whether you're an adult or whether you're a teenager, whether you're you're gonna relate to a certain degree on what's going on, and we all have gone through the anxiety moments we all have gone through, and even more so they actually touch up on a where you have too much anxiety, where other stuff could occur. And I love that. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys. I love that because it's human emotions, it's human relating to you.
It's relatable.
As you go through these when you go through these changes in your body, through puberty, through relationships, through high school friends, through middle school friends, to high school friends, because you're hoping that they'll be with you throughout your life.
The pressure, also the pressure of
peer pressure,
a whole bunch of things. Still, again, conflict within your core values, and it's all there. Again, it's wrapped up nicely in a little pretty package, but I love, again, the message, the themes.
Definitely.
It's beautiful.
All right, guys, we do recommend this movie. As always, I am your host, Ryan D. Ryan680.
I'm Angela Thakalian.
And be sure to check this out at a movie theater, guys. Thank you so much. Have yourself a wonderful day. Questions for you guys. What did y'all think? Let us know in the comments down below. What did you think of Inside Out 2? Is it as great as the first one? Let us know in the comments down below. For me, Inside Out 1 is still a masterpiece. Fantastic, phenomenal movie that I still can't believe it's animation that's just killing it, and I love that. And it's definitely better than this, but that's not to say though it's a very small millimeter. I feel like it is, because this Inside Out 2 is so inventive. There's so much new stuff that I really didn't think that could like, like I never thought I could be surprised, and you are surprised at the certain moments where you get to see the emotions and how they actually, the memories, how they, not just the core memories though, they add something even more IP. They add more stuff on here.
I will give a shout out in the first one though. I loved how the dreams were like literal movie productions.
Yes, that was great. Oh man, that's actually one of the reasons why I love the first one a lot, because they were just movie. I loved it being on the sets. I love it. But all right, guys, thank you so much once again. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Ikinola, Ryan680.
I'm Angela, that cat Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe, San Antonio. Catch you later. See you at the movies.